everyone, and thank you for attending this CareER Disability Inclusion Index briefing this afternoon. It is really exciting as we resume the full audit, and we are part of the journey together to continuous and carry on the disability inclusion topic in your organization. I would love to first start by having two celebration announcement with everyone. So over to you, Walter, for this lovely news.
Yeah, thank you very much, Veronica. So it's very lovely to see everyone today, and then welcome everyone to our Carry Out Disability Inclusion Index briefing sections 2025. And then we have a very exciting news to share with you all because for those who have been joining us and who will be joining us are all with the credits for our international, global, and local awards that we got on our Carry Out Disability Inclusion Index from coming from the last 3 months. And then for everyone, your participations make us be able to go to United Nations in Vienna, could be able to share our Disability Inclusion Index framework and our results and findings to the global stage. And then it has been become a Asia and also representing Hong Kong as a best practice for driving disability inclusion in the corporate and private sector. So it is a very important recognition. And then I want to share the credit to you all. And then at the same time, just yesterday, and then we also attended the Hong Kong Council of Social Service Best Practice Award, and then we become the double platinum award winners for having a best practice for driving disability inclusions. And also we are getting the platinum award as a small budget organizations, but driving big impact. So I just want to congratulate everyone that has been with us in this journey, also will be with us in this journey as well. So your participations, ongoing support, keep the momentum going is so important. And also we got the notice from the governments. Also, they are launching the recognitions to inclusive employers in this year. So also tap into the Talents Wise award scheme as well, coming from many years ago before COVID. And then they also reference to our CareER Disability Inclusion Framework, Index Framework. So it's a big system change that we all recognize the private sector and our efforts being seen. So thank you so much. And then maybe I turn the time back to Veronica.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you, Walter. Yeah, we only see this project has its own impact because it is truly moving all the various individual in large organization like you with your support and driving this agenda. And ultimately, it is indeed leading toward inclusive employment opportunity for people with disability, for those in the higher education background. So we want to thank all of you and thank you for journeying it for us. And we know this assessment hasn't been an easy journey as well. You do pour in a lot of effort in it. So we wanted to congratulate you all, and you all are the Zero Project winner. You all are the champion for good in the setting. Thank you all. So without further ado, I'd love to delve into the outline of today, apart from the celebration we have had earlier. So first part, we'll be focusing on the DII itself. What's that? How's the development and future? What's the structure and some key dates? And secondly, I'll pass it over to Florence to share more of the key events this year and mark down some of the key dates and the overall timeline. And part three, we'll be looking into the actual portal demo, some of the key function and things to note. And at the end, I will wrap up with the follow-up support available so that please be assured all the content we were sharing just now will be recorded, and at the same time, the deck will be shared over to you tomorrow in a DII launch email, and an activation email of the account will be shared to you next Monday. So in case of any problem, feel free to raise your hands up, or we'll have a Q&A session at the end. Looking into the index, it's lovely to have a lot of new partner this year. Love to congratulate. And at the same time, this project was supported by Swire Trust as our initiation sponsor. And as we derived into the part 2, we really love to have the D.H. Chan Foundation support, where we can continue the journey and to complete this research framework and drive a strategic change in the organization. We have seen in the past, the DII itself covered 8 major sections, and from this year onwards, the quantitative output, qualitative output will be introduced in the framework to complete the whole research framework. Next, what have we actually done in the first round of the preparation? Rest assured, if you are ever questioned or curious by your internal stakeholder, what has been done to develop this index, so you could refer to this page. So the development of the index itself, we have reference to over 100 plus scientific paper, as well as 10 leading stock exchange, and 86% of the question we asked are backed up by the validated reference. You may ask, what would be the remaining 14%? So the answer is because what we are referencing are mostly the European continent and also the lesser of Asian context here. So we do see the need of the local adaptation of some question and the social involvement. So with that note, the 14% is derived in the question that tailored for our local context. When it comes to the milestone, we are at the 2025. We're glad to share that it is a completion of the input process review output framework. And it is also the year where we are able to fully digitize the CareER DII, not only from a self-assessment standpoint, but also the full audit, where it is fine for us to review online, to support, provide supporting document online, and also Asia version of Singapore office, Japan office, Indonesia, Taiwan, Japan, Korea are available upon request, which will be conducted in a standalone and off-cycle process. And when it comes to the future, we want to continuously expand our pool, and we're developing a stepping stone of the beginner version. And what we have seen the project is evolve is that a lot of demand has been driven when it comes to inclusive customer experience, reception, internal training, staff development, and also some of the menu checklist development. Those are the amazing development that we've seen that truly would help the company to continue to drive the project and the topic. So this will be where we put more of the effort. So DII is a starting tool, is a starting point to help us to get a diagnosis of where we are. But ultimately, it will be the supplementary training and also advisory project that would help us to lead to true change within the organization tailored to your needs. So stay tuned at this piece, or you could always engage us. And next, I think we would love to learn more what's the changes for our second time joiner or repeating joiner. So 2025, as we said, is a completion of the research framework. We want the index that we develop go with what is happening truly in the world. We want to feel the global pulse of this disability inclusion advancement. So we actually partner with our research consultant. Additionally, we have reviewed additional 30 plus more disability inclusion articles and reports, and those just exist or develop. 70% of them are just recently published in the last 5 years. So some of the location is new to us, including Canada, India, and also France is a new location that we have been looking into with the recent new paper. Some of the journal that we read, you will be able to refer, including European Human Rights Report, some of the Springer research, and Routledge research as well. But what we have found is the progressive step that is developed over to driving disability inclusion journey. When the research was first developed, you would recall a lot of it are focused on the disability inclusion framework, policy, or like the structure, the council. But what we have seen is that there are more concrete factors that are being laid out that will be favorable to disability inclusion, and also there are more concrete steps that could be broken down in order to make a progress. So some of these findings actually lead to some of the question change and enhancement, so that more of the employment opportunity or position could be identified to provide actual opportunity for the members with disability. At the same time, as much as we are making the framework more complete and stringent, we acknowledge that to make this assessment process easy, smooth, and light is our desirable goal. So we are glad to announce that 45% of the supporting document requirement are reduced this year. So what is the justification behind? Is that the change is actually in line with the authorities and researchers shift in from the process to output and input to process and output. So say, for example, in the past, we might really look into what would be your DNI statement, your equal opportunity statement. But now actually it is the action that matter more. So we will look into those activity record, some of the communication internally. So this will be the change with a significant change. Going to digging deep into the question and framework, you will be able to refer to this page. And the major question change is in section 7. The accommodation will be increased from 2 points to 3 points. And what were the significant increments will be the open-ended question as we prepared last year. This is weightings has been introduced for this qualitative and quantitative session, because it is truly fundamental to look into what has been the actual change when it comes to driving disability inclusion. And this is restricted for principal respondent feedback only. And one thing to note is that for those employees who have been participating again, surely you would want a comparable result. So with the section 9 newly introduced and the one score introduced in the section 7, upon you remove those changes, you will be able to compare your question and the result apple to apple with the 2023 full audit. So last year is a self-assessment. We do not recommend a direct comparison, as the result is not verified by any research consultant or the backup evidence as well. So this I will note here. As we share the framework completion, so you will be able to see some of the weighting has been changes. Last year, you will see there is 34% in input, 51% in the processes. As well, there is a 0% in the output, and the review would be less as well. Then you will be able to see this year, more of the weighting has shifted toward the process review output, because we put CareER Disability Inclusion Index is not just about a mirror. We take this tool to continue to journey with our employer to also encourage and motivate a step-to-step movement, changing from the input and or more to the process and the action and the quantitative measurable as well. Lastly, in this section, part 1, I'm about to wrap up, is that what's new then this year. So this year, we on the DII online portal, we have introduced the supporting document function. And as I said earlier, the significant reduction of the supporting document, as much as we want to make it easy, want to make it light, we don't want to compromise the credibility and the reliability of the index itself. So the first time there will be a resubmission request, and also sample check will be introduced. So don't worry, I will be explain a bit more later. And when it comes to the resubmission, it would be only be on a necessary basis that our verifier wanted to give you an additional chance to clarify why you are saying yes, and any backup for the option. They want to give you a score. So that's why they would release this request. And because we have reduced the supporting document, we also want to ensure when we say yes, it's truly a yes. So there will be a sample check for those of the option that does not require supporting document in the first round of submission. And continuously, second point, there will be an alternate cycle of full assessment this year, and also enhancement year next year, so which will be a self-assessment next year. And also open-ended question in session 9 are developed, and Walter will be sharing more. And the overall research framework score will be increased from 35 to 40 in this case. Next, I will let Walter to go into more of the philosophy behind what are the questions change, and it won't be a line-by-line description. Over to you, Walter.
Yep, thank you very much, Veronica. So when we feel very exciting that we are completing the rationale from the input for policy, process for actions, review for longer term impacts, as well as the outputs that we're looking at, and then we realize actually we recognize also we have a very strong focus on customizing into Hong Kong and also in Asia as well. So that's actually, we are not going to look at the question changes one by one, but I will share with you about the rationale. So first of all, in section one is talking about the leadership commitments and organizational structure, how the organization putting the emphasis on disability inclusions and inclusive hiring. So three areas. First of all, and we put the internal communications expectations and then the methodologies already at the questions. For example, like the commitments when you have the policies, you probably need to talk to your internal stakeholders. So what we expect from you would be like, for example, your CEO message or even those like your ERG communications to the firm-wise communications are listed in the questions so that there's more clarity into the questions that you would get the know-how on the way that when you are answering the questions. Second things, when we previously talk about like any managerial grade or management team would have the performance goals on their commitments or actions for driving disability inclusions or general DEI into the organizations as a criteria. And now we set it a little bit more loosened for the criteria because we understand the performance appraisals and those criteria is highly confidential. So we set it as a manager or management grade and above if they have a goal to drive disability inclusions in the organization, we will accept that. And also when we are talking about increasing representations as a person with disability into various like management committee and so on, we realize actually it has been a big topics in the West, including like Europe, North America. But now we in Hong Kong and in Asia, we realized actually that would be a little bit challenging because the talents are still climbing up the career ladders, and then there's very much lack of leadership development for people with disabilities, which CareER or of our CareER empowerment part is very much looking into it as well. But in this moment, I think it's rely on the openness and this the psychological security for your management to disclose their disability or their mental or physical constraint. So we changed that sections into like the data source and data tracking system for HR practices, ERG practices, and so on as well. So to align about the local culture here in Hong Kong and Chinese culture. And then the third section, the third part, which we have the product and services, which we lay out what is the guiding principles of a inclusive product and services design, which is universal design. We realize product and services shouldn't just specifically design for people with disabilities. By being more inclusive and accessible, you could be able to include more wide range of customers. So we put out our principles here, which is increasing the clarity, which is the universal design. And then we also have some complementary information, supplementary information about like what is the five principle of universal design here as well. So on section 5 and 6, which is related to um, your inclusive trainings. So we were focusing on trainings, not just for internal, but extended to your external agency partner as well. But we realized actually that there are two different levels of influential power. So we realized from the last 2 years experience, we realized some of the organization never use a external recruitment agency or not even use a RPO services outside of the organization. That could be making these questions not applicable. At the same time, it's also may not have the influencing power for HR, internal HR to influence your recruitment agency or RPO agency as well. So we loosen that part a little bit, but please be aware that if you have outsourced some of the procedures and recruitment processes outside of your organization, that could be a problematic areas. But we just want to highlight the areas that our partners would have full control, so that is giving more tangible next step for you guys. So for section 7 is the sections that we have most changed because it was named as task evaluation. So task evaluations is not a popular concept in Hong Kong, but we realize this is a very, very important rationale behind. When we believe all jobs should be open and available for people with disabilities, that is actually widely agreed when we have a conversation with our employer partners. But we realize with a successful inclusive hiring journey, we need to do some prioritizations, which departments or which business line that we should prioritize to set up the first few successful business cases for hiring. So in section 7.1, question 7.1, we actually guide you through the question settings for how to develop a prioritizations, getting the internal buy-in from line managers, business line about how to dig out some of the prioritization criteria to kickstart with your successful business case. So it is giving you know-how while you are responding to our questions. So I hope that would be making our index other than a assessment or diagnostic study, and then it becomes a practical guidelines for you to doing that step by step while you are answering to the questions. So for section 9, I would like to pass the microphone to Florence to explain a little bit about our changes this year.
Thank you, Walter. So session 9 is a new session, and it was actually introduced to complete the input process review output framework. It consists of two parts mainly. The first part is data collection, and the second part is the collection of qualitative data. It was introduced last year, but last year we didn't carry any score because we simply want to give give our companies a preview of it because data tracking may takes time to prepare for it. And this year it carries 4 points. Because we see it is important to have output after we have policy in place, we have execution and also review. But still, we have slightly changed the wording of certain questions. This is because we got some feedback of our corporate partners who took part in this part last year, and they gave us some comments, and we make some minor revisions. And on the qualitative part, we also see that it is getting increasingly important, and because it can. But by providing some qualitative answers, we can provide a full picture of where an employee is in its disability inclusion journey. It can also showcase some best practices, or it can also share some problems that they frequently have, and also they can point to some different how different stakeholders can focus in the future. So we hope that by collecting this data, we can give better advice to our corporate partners, and we can do more consultancy work as well. So next, I would like to share with you some key timelines. So in about the DII submissions, first of all, the 1st of June will be the kickoff date. So starting from that day, you will be able to submit your answers in the DII portal. But the deadline, please note that is 15th of July 2025. After this date, you will still be able to access the portal and check your answers, but you can no longer submit or make any changes. And from mid-July onwards to August, it will be the verifier team's work date, and during which you may be request for resubmission or for some clarification. So Veronica will explain a little bit more on this part. And on the 18th of October, it will be our CareER Disability Inclusion Index Forum. So on this forum, we will share some important findings overall, not for not of individual companies. So please rest assured that your score and your data will not be shared here. We'll just share the overall findings. And I also want to highlight some IRF dates for you. So 15th of August is will be the by 5th of August we will check with you again your intent to participate in the IRF, and also we would like to have your job description by that day if you have any. So it will be but it doesn't necessarily need to be really valid job description, but rather it can be some year-long vacancy. So actually we can have our this is for our pre-matching, and also the IRF actually is another branding opportunity for your company to showcase to our members. Do you want to have any supplementary here?
Yeah, I have seen in the past, maybe some of the participating recruiters may have a question was like, oh, so do we, if in case we submit any job description by 15th of August, it might not be valid by the time when we reach 18th of August. However, our search is directed towards the personality match, the skill match generally to the demand of the company. So some of the more typical or year-round program would really help as we identified suitable member for the pre-matching session. But of course, it is more than welcome if the job itself is active, so that post the fair, there will be some positive return when it comes to the impact of the fair itself. But we do see that, do not misguided that it is not a fair like in the Asia Expo for on-site immediately matching, but it's a shared opportunity for our members generally to access to employer and get a better understanding of their desired career path and how could they prepare for their future career journey or the next year summer intern opportunity.
Thank you, Veronica. So this slide you will see some other key dates. Please mark your diary, and I would love to see your participation here. And apart from the 15th of July, which is the submission due date of the CareER DII, 29th of September will be the employer seminar. So for all participating companies in this fair, I will encourage you to mark these dates and have your TA team mostly to join this employer seminar to prepare for the fair. And on the 18th of October, it will be the IRF day and also the forum date. And another important date I wish really hope that you can join us is the 6th of December. It's a Saturday, and on this day we will be we'll have the kickoff ceremony of the run-a-thon, and more importantly is to have a ceremony to celebrate our 10th anniversary. So on these days, what you will be expecting is we will have exhibition, we'll have a game booth, we have some game booths for inclusive experience, and we may be you may have a chance to see some Paralympics medalists like Daniel Chen or Ho Yin Kei, Bushia, and also we will have maybe we'll have a book launch. This book will be highlighting the journey of the CareER over the past decade.
It has been really exciting. I hear from the event team, they told us this will be the first time in our 10th year, we'll be moving our Disability Inclusion Index Forum, as well as the recruitment fair to the New World Millennium Hotel, still in Tsim Sha Tsui, for those who love Tsim Sha Tsui, but then it will be able to accommodate up to 400 people. So we hope this will be an opportunity, not only us as a key driver in certain department, but also spread ahead to more of the stakeholder in the company and develop more of the champion and influencer. And as for the sixth, they are really engaging both Paralympian double gold medalists, Yun Kei, and on Bosia, as well as on the badminton on Daniel. So we hope this is an open day for celebration, for joy. And of course, we would love everyone to form a corporate team to join together of the celebration and reveal the collective 10th year journey that you have been working with us for the cause, for the community, and now with our organization. So really look forward to have you all.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor the event or sponsor some prizes for the runathon, we still welcome all this support. So next we will be introducing the CareER DII portal. So for those who has joined last year, so you have experienced the friendliness of the portal. So it's an easy to use interface. So it will, I think even for the newcomers, it won't be that difficult to manipulate. And as I said, we have the principal and respondent roles. They have different roles and responsibilities. So for principal respondent, they have the authority to assess for the survey, and they also have the authority to review and override the answers if necessary. But when coming with the authority is the responsibility. So they are the only one to complete session 9, which is the open-ended questions, and they are the one to be responsible for the final submission by 15th of July. So and also during the verification period, in case you are picked by our verifier for sample check, or if you are required to explain further, elaborate further, or to provide further supporting documents, you are also the one to do so. So and for the respondent, you will have only limited access to only sessions that are assigned by the principal respondent. But if you think you are not the most appropriate person, and you know maybe some other colleagues may be even more appropriate to fill in some certain session, you also have the authority to further delegate that session to that particular colleagues. But of course, after you complete the session, please inform your principal respondent to check what you have submitted. And later on Monday, all principal respondent will receive an invitation email like this. So what to do next is to click the link and to set your password, and then you will be diverted to the portal. So here is the what you will see after you click the link. So the submission button will be activated from 1st of June. So you can next week, if you log in the hot portal, you can have a preview of the questions to get prepared. And next I will pass on to Veronica to do a live demo of the portal.
Thank you, Florence. So hopefully now is another time to gain back all our attention also. But then when it comes to the portal itself, we are really pleased to introduce a new function to you all. So we understand that there are role of principal respondent and there are respondent roles. So we take that as an umbrella of influence. We know today it will be mainly the principal respondent attending this briefing session, but how could we relay the information? Instead, upon the respondent click into this link and gain access to the portal, they will be able to redirect to this DII user menu, which there is a detailed layout on how to navigate the portal, some of the key function, and how to retrieve, override, what to submit, what to expect, etc. So a clear screen cap will be provided here. We hope this will provide some assurance when it comes to engaging other teammates in joining the portal and the assessment as well. So going back to the demo, once you log in, you will be in this page, and then you could click into the Hong Kong version. So Asia version is only activated upon on request and off-cycle basis. So for the Hong Kong version, the first button that I would love to introduce again is the user management. So say for example, now I'm the principal respondent, I'm the lead of DNI or HR in the team. I would love other input. So I would like to invite Florence from the product and services team to take part in the session. So I would be able to click invite and fill in Florence's name and fill in the section that I would love Florence to input, say for example, this session 3, or maybe she would also be able to provide some insight on session 8. So I will be able to fill it in here. You would also be seeing this session 9 is disabled at the moment and is only reserved for principal respondent input. So this will be the reference here. Going back into the survey, I would like to take session 1 as the demo. So to give us an overall idea on how to keep track of the progress, you will be able to see how many options per section you have been filled in so that we know where we are. And if you have filled in certain questions, say for example, on this DII Council, you would see the option would turn green once you have identified the input. And say, for example, maybe for 1.1.1, if you see underscore here, if you are the employer who joined us maybe for the second time, the third time, then you could refer to this underline as if you are scored in 2023, because the version is only comparable between 2023 and 2025 as our full audit. So you will be able to see when did I last audited, or when did my colleague has last edited or submitted. As we shared earlier, significant percentage, 45%, are reduced in the supporting document function. You will be seeing, so maybe say, for example, 1.1.1, the supporting document is not required, but then you will be able to see the expected document here. The reason is in case you're invited for random sample check, a spot check to ensure the overall index accuracy, then this will be the document that was expected if you are invited for a sample check. But this is just to ensure the overall submission is accurate. And say, for example, if I'm about to submit some of my feedback and answer, say for example, I would like to say, oh, our ERG would have a campaign twice a year to spread this topic, then this question is required for supporting document. We will see the button green here. And when I put my cursor into the I button, I would also be able to see the acceptable supporting document, which will help us to score the question. So I'm able to upload my response here by uploading my file or by just dropping my file. So each option, there are maximum 3 available, and this will be the accepted format here. But say, for example, maybe section 1, I've invited Florence to also submit her feedback. Then I'm able to see there are some supporting document has been uploaded. I'm also able to look at this and see that, oh, some of the elaboration is done. So let me take a look and click into it. So I will be able to see that's what Florence have uploaded. We would recommend the file format is in question and the underscore what the content is. And as a principal respondent, I'm also able to review what Florence has uploaded. And if I would love to leave, I can just click the cross and I will go back here. And in case I see some of the file that Florence uploaded may not be what I really needed for this assessment, I'm able to delete it as well. I'm also able to overwrite. And as for elaboration, I'm also able to override and also elaborate. So Florence has input, this is the demo and I would like to add something. Then I'm able to add additional. And then I would save. So supposedly there is a pop-up where it will remind me I'm overriding what Florence is overriding. So this will help us to ensure we are making informed decision as well. So that's why I would love to show the sample here. In case you finish one section that all of this turn green, you would be able to go to the next section and by clicking next. And or you could also go back to the main page and select other section and fill in. One more demo I would like to go into would be this section 9. A majority of the question that we are filling in, you will be able to see either a yes, no, elaboration, and supporting document. But in section 9, as we share that one of the key focus is to see what are the change, what are the driver, what are the output. Then you will be able to see maybe say, for example, training data. So 9.4, we are asking training data, and we also list out the minimum expected workshop according to the academic journal that would drive effective and active topic. So we'll be able to input number only here. So this will be lesser of yes and no. And we will also expect supporting document of the actual training conducted. It could be maybe like an email communication, training record, etc. And when it comes to this 9.5, a more qualitative question, maybe in the past, many of us has filled in this in the Excel as well. But as it approached this year, it will start carry weighting, and you will see each section actually there is a score up to 0.25. What means by up to 0.25? That means because we wanted to understand what is the happenings in the organization and what are the actual change, what are the best practice to really have a fruitful discussion here. So this score will be ranging from 0 to 0.25 and at a scale of 0.05. So when you're answering this question, you could actually score 0.05. You could also actually score 0.15, depends on how detailed the elaboration and what the change. But in case if there are the answer is like there is no enabler, then chances are we will get 0 at the question. And it is more than welcome to upload the supporting document here so that we'll be able to understand fully the happenings in the organization. So once if we have filled in all the supporting document and we have completed input, maybe we suggested by the time of early July, 10th of July, etc., you're welcome to engage with us at the DII clinic later and have a final check. So if we would love to submit, so the system itself has a gatekeeping function where they would know I have not complete the option in session 1. So we see all the others are filled in, but the first one is missing. So it will redirect us to complete the options before our final submission. So don't worry, we won't accidentally click into the submit. We will always double confirm. So and please note that there will be only one submission is needed for the first round of submission by 15th of July. So this will be the survey interface. I would also love to highlight as many of our employer at the same time also partake the inclusive recruitment fair and also genuinely provide meaningful opportunity of hiring, not necessarily through a CareER, but also through various channels to hire. So for the greater good, you're welcome to apply for this disability inclusive employer badge, which will also due on the same day on 15th of July. One note to supplement here, as Walter shared earlier, we also work closely with the government, and we note that under the Labor and Welfare Bureau in the policy address of 2024, so there will be some caring company and caring employer medal available to encourage disability inclusive recruitment. So we also work closely with the organization, with the bureau, and understand that that would be more of a welcoming stage, we would say, to encourage more of the small size or various sizes company to partake and to encourage a topic and a momentum is active in the society. So at the moment, we don't see the continuity itself of the medal, but as CareER NGO is very supportive for the whole topic, you are recommended to look into that medal as well. And we trust that for CareER employer who are really committed and have really actual driving social change. We believe that very likely all our participating employer will be able to awarded for the higher level, like the Vanguard version of that medal. So you're welcome to look into that into more details. So we believe then we'll wrap up this part for the demo, and we'll go back to the slides. So all of the demonstration earlier and a screen cap is available in the deck. You are able to look into it later after the meeting. Last one that we weren't able to do it live with you all is the resubmission request because it requires us to fully submit, and then the verifier team will be able to review the submission after the 15th of July. So this function is designed for all of our good because it gives us an additional chance to ensure there is a just and precise evaluation. In case if we fill in yes, we really hope that there is great change happening, and we wanted to ensure the supporting document will be available, and also maybe elaboration will be needed. So you will be invited on a necessary basis to expand, clarify, or supply further supporting document. So resubmission is only needed once. So you will also receive an email after 15th of July if necessary, and a random sample spot check on certain option that does not require supporting document at the first place will be conducted on a random sample check basis. So 1 week additional work week will be made available upon the request is being sent out. As the demo comes to the end, this will be the batch we shared earlier, and we can't wait to, as we wrap up, would be the supporting resources available. We fully understand that what we have shared just now is quite a volume of information, and we all take time to understand, to digest. Perhaps we have some question. So DII clinic, once again, there will be around 6 to 7 half days available for you to book throughout June and July, so that we're able to address your concern, and when it comes to how you're experiencing the process of conducting this DII research. And also for portal menu is available on the portal website itself. Once again, the portal is developed on Salesforce, so what you submit are encrypted and also won't be able to release to any external party outside CareER or to any other supporting organization. And a briefing of the session today will be shared to you over on a YouTube link. And also our overall partnership timeline will be released in the DII launch email from today onwards. So once again, the key date, 1st of June will be official start, 15th of July is the cutoff. Single submission is needed. And the new function of randomized sample check and also resubmission will be only conducted on a necessary basis. So we believe as we approach 4:50 around, we will take a pause here and welcome all of your questions. It could be in a chat group, it could be raise your hand. Lovely to journey with you, and thank you for investing your time and see this as a topic that is important to your business and in your talent strategy. Oh, good. So in case of a question, you're welcome to unmute or add on Dropbox. Yeah, if not, if it takes a while to have a think on the question and the development and the design, and that is totally all right. We welcome your question as usual. And one lastly, we also want to take this opportunity to welcome all our new joiner this year, supporting employer to get into this topic together. And shout out to the team. We see Jockey Club is here. We see the Hutchison Port team is here. And earlier we also welcome Namfeng Group and ACOM construction company on joining us into the index this year. So thank you for the continuous commitment for our partnering company over the years, and also our new joiner this year. So thank you everyone. We love to regroup with you. See you in June, July, throughout the year until December basically. So thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank
Lisa.
you. Thank you very much.